Yo guys, good evening. We are back with the Chaplain again. I wasn't going to be. We were going to be painting our first coats of paint on this young lad right here, Mr. Marnius Calgar, the cool edition. However, as you can see, he's still, metal colored. Des, thank you for that host. But unfortunately, the green stuff hasn't cured yet, and I've had to use some green stuff in a few places to help assemble this. There's a little bit in there. Too many sprues with the host as well. You guys absolutely rock. So yeah, a few bits of green stuff that isn't cured, which is a shame. I was hoping we'd get sort of some way there, but it's not quite there. Main unit getting his sub on 4 months now. Absolute superstar. Thank you very much, sir. So yeah, was going to do him. When that didn't work, I thought it's okay, it's cool. Berry Boy getting a host on as well. That's 3 hosts now. Bosses, every single one of you. Thank you. It means actually quite a lot to a streamer, so super appreciate. But we're going to paint this chick. And I thought, all I've done is paint black recently. So, we haven't done that. I'm coming up with a slightly different way of painting the black to give her the kind of ever so slightly, I've nicked some of this armor from like maybe a Drukhari or an Eldari source. And somebody asked the other day about how I'd go about painting a warm black. Kind of trying to think of ways to do that. So, maybe Tuesday stream, but Tuesday stream is quite likely going to be the big boy over here. That's the plan, at least. So, it means that we are still working on the Chaplain, but that's cool because A, he's cool, and B, there's still plenty to do on this guy. So, very much looking forward to getting this guy, I'll say finished. We're going to get everything done with the exception of the freehand on here. And the exception of anything on the base whatsoever. So all of this is going to be done as a tutorial video for YouTube. The Johnsonator getting his sub on as well. 15 months now, Lee. That's impressive, dude. Thank you. But yeah, everything we do on this base is going to be a video tutorial for YouTube. So cut down to about 15 to 20 minutes tops. How to paint and how to model a base. Past Games Workshop's sort of token efforts feels a little harsh, but it's kind of accurate. You know, they're giving you part of a base, and the texture on this is never good. So we're going to talk about that in a YouTube video, and then ideally the Chaplain can sit on that base once he's completely show off the base in all its grandeur. But this little bit will be the next Patreon video. I'm going to show you how to do a freehand chapter symbol. For pretty much any chapter, like the same rules apply to everything. It's not just how to paint a raven wing symbol. It's just a good place to sort of begin with. So we've got a few bits and pieces to do. We're going to crack on with this guy. Let's work on the red. That's what we were doing last time. Just getting some brush blends up with that. Let's grab ourselves some nice fresh Kador red from P3. In the chat, we've got Des, main unit, Jaeger, too many sprues, Celtic Craig, Daddy Tubbs, Kets TV. I see Nick McDade and Viking as well. Good evening to you all. The Chaplain will not be doing a wheelie any more than he already is, put it that way. So he's already slightly up a slope, and then we're moving on from there. And Des, you're absolutely right. This is a start. You know, it's better than nothing. But I know I'm going to see plenty of these Chaplain models with this bit painted and this bit with like some sand and some PVA glue just done on it, and that's going to be it. So we're going to work this up over on YouTube. You're going to see all of that being built. Now today the stream is not rushed. But one of the reasons why we didn't get the Marnius Calgar model built in time is because yesterday the UK announced its new lockdown plans, which is a 4-week-long lockdown as of Thursday. And I spent the time with my girlfriend over the weekend. So, you know, I decided that was selfishly the more important thing to do, considering that I'm going to be spending very little time with her over the next few weeks. Now, Thursday is her birthday. So, that's still happening. We still won't be streaming on Thursday. I'm going to hers on Wednesday evening. And we will basically stay in. We'll make sure we're well provisioned so that we don't have to leave the house at all on the Thursday. And then I'll be back home on Friday. So we're still not going to stream on Thursday. So that is this Thursday coming, which is the 5th of November. There is no stream for that. But then after that, there is unfortunately going to be no seeing my girlfriend for a month. Which sucks. Kets, the whole bubble thing is kind of not on the cards. You've got to be in a support bubble, which means you've got to be somebody's like support worker or similar. And she doesn't need a support worker. As fucked up as I am, neither do I. So, you know. Jaeger, that sucks, mate. That sucks. But I guess that is semi-essential, because what if it's like a doctor or an ambulance coming to the door? Needs to buzz them in and so on. So I can kind of see that one. Halfords is seen as essential. Okay. I mean, sure, if something goes wrong with your car and you actually need to fix it, maybe you need a new battery, then yes, I understand that. Yeah, JG, you're totally right. But equally, if they've got to stay home, we're looking at like food deliveries and support workers, perhaps. You know, so that sucks. Wow, I can't pronounce that. HTI Kellum. Kellum is what we're going with. Thank you very much for that follow, man, and welcome to the stream. Celtic Craig, yeah, that's it's a rough one. Over here, gyms are now going to be closed as of Thursday. No gym whatsoever. Des says, I think my work's going to be a lot busier because once the shop's shut on Thursday and they'll be taking all the phone calls. Oh shit. What do you do, Des? Just realised I have no idea what you do in your time when you're not modding. So the Relish Wolf, there is no song request. If you type in !SR as the command, you'll probably get a quick breakdown reason as to why, but it is basically not worth the risk of having my channel taken down. But I have got some cool music that we play in the background. I occasionally add a few more songs too. Found one yesterday I liked, so we put that on. Essentially, the risk is too much for me to want to take the chance. I can understand a few smaller channels, and I'm by no means a large channel at all, but I can understand a few smaller channels being okay with it, but yeah. do it. We try and get some cool tunes. Like I said, every now and again, I go looking for some more. Add to the playlist. Commissar Bob, how you doing, brother? Always good to see you, man. So, we're quite happy giving the book a little bit of texture. Yeah, Craig, I totally get it. Totally get it. This is not sell on rent TVs and appliances in the shop. Currently working at call center. Oh, bloody hell. Phone sales is got to be pretty rough right now. Because everyone's trying to get all their bits and pieces off the internet and so on. So, I'm assuming any issues with that, you're the guy that they call to put it right. I don't think I've ever actually listened to anything by Bruno Mars, although bizarrely, and this is a weird claim to fame, really weird claim to fame. It's not even really a claim to fame; it's just a weird story. Bruno Mars is someone that really, really likes cigars, and so does his manager, and the Saints and Sinners Club that I belong to, which is a private members club for cigar smokers based in Los Angeles. The brand of cigar manufacturers that runs and owns the club, Tatuaje, and the brand owner, Pete Johnson, got approached by Bruno Mars' manager asking for some cigars to be made specifically for his wedding. And Pete, being a big fan, decided, yeah, sure, absolutely, we'll do it. And so came up with a cigar called the Mars Attacks. Makes sense, based on the name of the guy, Pete's prevalence and love of cheesy monster and alien movies. And then a few years later, they did a Redux version for Mardi Gras Festival called the Mardi Gras Attacks. I had the Mardi Gras Attacks, really, really good. And then a while back, a friend hooked me up with one of the actual Mars Attacks cigars from the wedding. So quite bizarrely, I've smoked one of those cigars that was at that wedding. Crazy. Bob, you just need to try and protect yourself at all times, man. You know, be masked, be very cognizant of what you're touching. There's not a lot you can do with it. Twitch, as long as you get credit and you don't promote hate, racism, or violence. That makes total sense. Not really the synthwave is the issue there. I mean, would I? Synthwave? Okay, cool. Ichu, how you doing? Maybe. Maybe, you know. Someone put a link in the links part of Discord if you can, in that case, because that's where I'm most likely to see it and remember it, whereas this conversation, I know I'm going to forget, unfortunately. So all we're doing at the moment is building the book up with a nice Cador Red, just helping to amp that up. We're going to do the same with the bolt guns. The book obviously needs a little bit more attention than anywhere else because it's such a massive focal point for the Mini. I'm going to be coming back in and we're going to paint all of these little like bits of the spine, they're all going to be gold. So we're going to paint over those anyway. So we're not too fussed about those. We obviously got some work on the Crozius handle to do. We've got the bike handle and some purity seals to do on there too. So plenty of red for a little bit. This little block there, that'll be gold. Got to remove your mask for class. Fuck that. Bob, you take it easy, man. Always good to see you, my friend. Seriously, take care. And absolutely fuck any teacher that says like, oh look, sorry, you're in a room full of people, you must remove your mask. Just know that sounds like the dumbest thing. So I guarantee the only reason they ask you to do that is so they can see you're concentrating and not pulling silly faces and stuff. And if I was a teacher, I'd want you all to leave your fucking masks on. The last thing I want to do is sit in front of 30 odd kids breathing at me. You get random spot checks below. Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah. Goliath Games TV. I wouldn't maybe go that far, but I'd ask them to explain fully why. Although, actually, no, let's be fair. I'd probably smack the teacher one. Get suspended. I'm not advocating this. Don't anybody say, oh, Mohawk says. But you at least get excluded at that point. Right, I'll learn at home. It's okay. Keep sending me your homework. I'll just, you know. I partially understand the whole we need to act now. On Thursday, this is what's going to happen. I do get it. Because if they just suddenly said, right, everyone stop right now, then a lot of people wouldn't turn up to work on Monday not knowing what to do. So, you know, there needs to be time to organise. It's just, let's be honest, and I think everyone here is of the same mind. This should all have been the case. Probably June. You know, we still shouldn't have been like, yeah, everyone go and you can have some slightly social fun and everything else. You're like, no, just dig in, stay in. AJ, okay, fair. Maybe it's different in different schools. Yeah, I'm not sure we can get away with playing covers of anything. And if I'm honest, this is something I'm going to look quite heavily into before I put it up, because I think the music we've got here is quite cool anyway. We get a lot of people, you know, positive comments on the music, and that's great, but I'm not going to put the risk of the stream being taken down above maybe some slightly different tunes here and there. Speaking of the stream, though, firstly, I want to give a shout out to the Peckish Fox, who is definitely off my Christmas card list now. After this comment. So, pretty soon, Mr. Chris Frozin and I are going to do a dual stream. And I said, why don't we paint the same mini as each other? And then we can have like a poll, and the chat and our communities can decide who they think had the better final result. If we both paint the same mini, then happy days. We've got like a sort of baseline. I've got some Marines. I've got a spare Necron Overlord. You know, we can paint something that looks cool and is cool and everything else. Chris was totally on board with that. He said he'd go and ask his community what we should paint. So I'm assuming most of his community said, paint a Marine, paint an Ultramarine. I bet that's what they said to Chris. I wouldn't put money on that, but I'd make a sort of friendly sportsman's bet that was the case. So Chris and I are going to work out what to paint, and then some chirpy twat in his community pops up with this comment. Make a selection of 5 paint colours or something, then every 30 minutes you have to take one of those paints away and you're not allowed to use it. Or, and I can't show you this because I might dox Chris, or chat can swap that colour out for something else. Now I'm totally down for that. That sounds like absolute hilarity waiting to happen. And I think I'm pretty good at like thinking on the fly with stuff and coming in with different colours. I think my blends and my mixes are pretty on point, and you guys have seen me do some really random, crazy shit with colours before as well. So I think I'd be okay with it. But Peckish, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends, and you do that to me. Son of a bitch. Alright, just blending up a little brightness on these towards the front. We've got more highlights to do with the red. We're going to go up to a little bit of orange by mixing in some yellow. There you go, guys. Who would like to see a stream battle between myself and Chris? And if you'd like to see it, what would you like us to paint? It would ideally have to be the same mini. It would have to be a mini that we can complete in the time allowed for our stream, under reasonable circumstances, you know. Because I'm pretty sure I could paint a Marine, if I discounted drying time, inside 20 minutes. Once again, do I even want to read this out? Lockdown is affecting men wear swimming. No more lads, no more pubs, no more football, whereas women can still live their normal lives, cleaning, cooking, ironing, washing. Oh, fucking hell. Wow. Yeah, I stopped reading that out for a fucking reason. One of the funniest things that I saw pre-lockdown, or like just as lockdown started, it was a woman interviewing this lad. He was a young guy, probably early 20s. And he obviously had a family, you know, and the sort of interviewer said, so you know, lockdown's obviously starting. You pretty much got a couple of options. Option A is that you stay at home, you work from home, and you spend loads of extra time with your wife and your family and children and so on. And he just went B, 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 B. Like, oh, Des, you're absolutely right. You made me laugh. I'm not going to read the rest of that out loud. Someone will clip that shit. Next thing I know, Mohawk miniatures. Misogynist miniatures. And that'll be all it is. Right, hang on a minute. Can't even ban Dez. You know, Dez is top mod. Jaya and Toonie Sprues, even their powers combined, I'm not sure would have the ability to take down Dez. Who needs content when we have Snip? What? What is Snip? Is this like a TikTok thing? I don't really understand that either, if I'm honest. All it seems to be is a load of people changing their clothes by kicking at things. Ooh, 1 second. Are you working from home tomorrow?
Probably not.
Okay, cool. Nick's coming in for his painting lesson. So. Also, how's your hangover?
More human now.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Strike me down and become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. I don't know, I can imagine quite a lot of power, Des. Imaginary power. I've been a manager. I know exactly what imaginary power feels like. Wow. Wow. Jager's trying for it. Des, you gotta be careful. Jager wants your spot. Also, Fish, the mere thought of having a daughter, let alone a teenage one, is enough to strike me with fear. Ichigo, I thought that comment was to Ben. You just said, "Great Ben," in the chat. Like, brilliant. I think he was referencing Ben Kenobi, though. He get great deals on towers and Dragon Protector these days. They're nice and bright. Certainly very standout on the front of this. So we've just got the Crozius to do, and we've got these Purity Seals to do. Right, behave. Not drop, didn't hit the mat. Two little girls are 3 and 5 years old, and I dreaded they become teenagers. Does everyone here seen Bad Boys? Because if I ever, God forbid, I mean I got divorced because I didn't want children. If I ever am unfortunate enough to have kids, and I appreciate plenty of you guys out there want kids, love your kids, and so on, it's just not for me. We need people like you to further the species. I'm just not paternal. I don't have that. But if I ever had kids, very, very much be the case of first date, whatever poor motherfucker comes to pick you up, they're gonna have an uncomfortable conversation. Really uncomfortable. You a virgin? Better keep it that way. Craig, good lad. Good lad. Snapchat and TikTok is banned in your house. Fair. Fish, I see you've clearly trained them well. Wait. Is that because they've got to listen to like 15 hours of here's what I did on TikTok today? Because, boy. Or we get about 2 tons of angry metal through the game. Fucking hell. Shit. Try and get in touch with some of the old guys that used to wrestle with. They'd all be well down for it. Right, here we have to draw little diamonds, which is about as annoying as you can imagine. But it turns out that Space Marines love their slightly padded leatherette weapon handles. And this is the best way of doing it. You can turn the light on if you need to. Say again. Yeah, go for it, mate. Everyone, Ben is painting. This is a momentous occasion. So yes, I have to paint many diamonds. Many diamonds. Sarah! How you doing? I had a good Halloween. I started watching Truth Seekers, which is a new, mostly Nick Frost, but Simon Pegg is on in the background, show on Amazon. I was watching that with Jackie last night, and then today we put on a load of scary tunes that we found on Spotify as a playlist, and started playing the Arkham Horror game, which was super fun. Played a quick practice game, and then started again because that went terribly, and then we tried again. We managed to get all the way through the first mission and successfully did what we needed to do. We achieved our objective. However, my character lost quite a lot of sanity along the way, which I feel is kind of appropriate, really. And then we tried the second mission, and we nearly managed to complete it, but we needed to kill one more baddie, and it didn't happen before the time ran out, so we failed in the second mission, which means that the final mission, the final part of the campaign, there are some dire consequences. So looking forward to that. Here he is. I know he'd be here. Frohawk Stream Challenge, no airbrushing, just dry brush. No. I absolutely refuse to go along with that one. Nidge getting his sub on. Thank you very much, dude. That's 5 months now. Impressive. Thank you. Chris, what is this utter bullshit? No airbrush, just dry brush. We don't dry brush toy soldiers. There's absolutely no need for dry brushing. Ever. Oh, Frankenstein Chronicles. Nice. Haven't seen any of that. Dry brush gang, get out. Get out. Dry brush gang not welcome here. We're in a very inclusive community unless you dry brush, in which case you're dead to me. Fabby Doo, thank you for the follow. Only pigments allowed. I mean, all paint has pigment in it, so we could take that stipulation, that's fine. Otherwise it would be like, what, mediums only. You know, dry brush, I'm explaining to my whole stream, we're going to see the dry brush god, Mohawk Miniatures. You talk out of your bottom, Mr. Frozin. Admittedly, when I dry brush, I do it correctly, and therefore it's okay. However, absolutely not. Did you work out what we should paint, Chris? It has its uses. Does it now? I think I've dry brushed 2 things this year, and I have painted I'm going to go out on a limb and say between 300 and 400 miniatures this year. And I dry brushed 2 things. And one of them was a base. That was literally just a base and nothing else. That went out with the Rival Crafts glow-in-the-dark tufts, actually. That's what that was for. Danny, get out. Also, hello. Brown base rims. We could do brown base rims if you want. It's just that's also wrong. So, Chris, going to print us something and get chat involved in swapping out the paint colors we pick. Up for that. I am up for that. That sounds cool. Yeah, definitely up for that. What kind of thing are you going to print? I reckon if we're looking at a stream of about 4 hours, we could do slightly longer if you wanted, because now there is lockdown. It's not like I'll have any plans to go anywhere on that Saturday afternoon. So we could do longer, but like let's say no more than 8 hours. So somewhere in that time. Danny, how you doing? 50mm-ish size model. Okay. I prefer sci-fi stuff to fantasy stuff. Have you got a preference? But yeah, I'm totally down with us having a color palette, and then every 30 minutes, somebody like from the chat chooses a color. So I'll run it as like a contest, essentially. Anyone can enter on my side of things to pick a person, and then that person can take one color that we use and swap it for another one. Mod Squad versus Dry Brush Gang. Like, wow. Dry Brush Gang can just leave anyway. But I'd be down for that. It sounds good. And then we can put it to a vote on, let's say, Instagram. Instagram's a good one, I think, for voting, because you've got the stories and everything else you can put it on. Or Facebook, if there's a better way of doing it. I'm not really Mr. Social Media. There should either be, and I'll let the stream decide. So you guys have decided in your stream, you're going to print something, and we've got this challenge of this like 30-minute paint swap. I'll let my stream decide whether the winner should have a prize or the loser should have a forfeit. And then we'll try and decide what those prizes or forfeits should be. Could auction off the models afterwards for charity or something. That sounds good. That sounds good. So far, we're down for forfeits. Full stream of drag machine for Mohawk. Can somebody ban this guy? Like, permaban would be good right now, I feel. Chili shots you're supposed to do and you didn't add commands. Hey, I added the commands. I told you guys I didn't add some of them as I'd chosen not to because of my working circumstances now. That's not the same as me forgetting, which was what the bet was for. So it looks like it's like forfeits are up there. I like how my chat is full of people that are like, no, I want to see the world burn. There's Chris with all his optimism and hope and joy and laughter and positivity. And my chat are like, I'm going to set you on fire. Loser has to dance for 30 seconds and put it on Instagram. That's hardly a forfeit. Throwing the mandatory use of a Sharpie. You're next on the ban list. Loser has to buy Spiky Bits merchandise. Chris, we don't use pens on models. That's not a thing either. No dry brush, no pens. Oh, no! Nobody swore in chat. Like, I'd say like the forfeit would be I'd do a social media post explaining why I love your channel and your work and everything else. But I'm pretty sure I've done that before, just for the sake of it, you know. That's not really a forfeit. I'll tell you what, let's get a straw poll. Let's get a straw poll, because they're always fun. Actually, why am I doing this? I've got mods. Can one of my mods please create a straw poll with just two choices? Forfeit or prize? That's it. Yeah, but I've got to do that myself, so. I think 6 seconds was a good choice. So one of the mods do a poll and throw the link in chat. No, the mods can't do that poll. They can just go to straw poll and create one. For Bizzle, forfeit is painting an ultramarine. I nearly suggested we paint ultramarines, to be honest, as our challenge. I think having the minis go off for a charity auction afterwards would be sick. I think that would be very, very cool. Des, good lad. And then we'll use this poll to determine whether the winner of this contest, the Frohawk inaugural dual stream, has a forfeit or has a prize. I don't even know why we're bothering with the poll. It's going to be like straight forfeit from everyone apart from Chris, who's like, prize please. I don't want to drink chili sauce. Chris, you bought Indomitus. You must have at least an Assault Intercessor or something similar. Blade Guard. I mean, I flat out refuse to paint an Eradicator. Just gonna melt them all. Pro Jam, I am of no illusions that people will be voting for the forfeit, but for the sake of transparency and for the sake of all the people that want to do something nice for their community, I think there's one of them hiding in the corner somewhere. They usually don't join chat. I got Indomitus but not Marine Bits. Oh, okay. He's already got to dress up as an Ultramarine. Chris has got to dress up as an Ultramarine. Jaeger, you got there first, so we'll go with Jaeger's poll. So, Des, I'm going to bin off your message. If I can't, I can't. Go with Jaeger's poll. The winner's prize is not having to do the forfeit. Absolutely. So, here we go. Here's the thing. Frohawk stream, forfeit or reward. We choose forfeit. Wow. That's how confident I am, Frozin. I'm going to punish you. So I voted for forfeit. So everyone, go cast your votes. We'll give that 15 minutes. So everyone go vote on Jager's poll. If you can spam that a couple of times over the next few minutes, that'd be grand. For whether you would like to see a forfeit to the person that loses the battle, or a prize, and then start thinking of forfeits or prizes. Might be enough people here that voted reward. That could be what we end up with. You have Eradicators, Aggressors, Intercessors, Librarian, Chaplain, Gravis, Captain. Oh, which Chaplain? Guarantee you, if you're painting a Chaplain, someone's like, right, so you're not allowed to use black now. Foot Chaplain. The new one or the old one? The one from Indom? The cool one? Or the one with the pimp stick? Because he's a bit poo. I've got an Intercessor though. Like a regular, normal Intercessor. I don't have any of the rest, I don't think. So my Gravis Captain I turned into an Aggressor. I don't have a Judicia anymore because I gave him away. Let's do an Intercessor in that case then. Or I thought you were going to print something. So I'll let you choose. You choose, mate. You can either do Intercessors and do some conversion work on them as well. Just a little, nothing crazy. Or we can do whatever it is that you're going to print off. Eradicators, no. I just absolutely refuse to paint an Eradicator because I'm not enabling that bullshit. That's some next level bullshit. Steiner! Doing well, dude. We're having a bit of a battle right now between myself and Chris Rosin over which minis we're going to paint in our dual stream, which is probably going to happen on the 14th of November. You can pencil it in your diaries now, guys, but it's not fully official, so subject to change. We're also running a straw poll to decide that once we have completed our paint challenge, and our communities have decided which is the best out of those two, whether the winner gets a prize or the loser gets a forfeit. And then we're going to try and work out what the prizes should be and what the forfeits should be if they are one or the other, or if there's a tie. If there's a tie, then you get to basically win twice because you're not doing the forfeit and you get a prize, and the loser gets wrecked. I voted for forfeit because I'm feeling confident. Always going to feel confident. So they both offer to do Battletech. Nah. Currently, it's somewhere in the camp of either Chris is going to 3D print something, or we're going to paint Intercessors that have had a little bit of conversion work done, maybe some cool base work done, something along those sorts of lines. Right, going to amp up the red just a touch now with a little bit of Flash Kits Yellow, best yellow. Anyway, Steiner, how are you? Let's get some shout out. In fact, we had a shout out. Well done, Too Many Sprues. Steiner's another painter here on Twitch. Managed to go and raid his stream last week. Was it this week? No, it was Tuesday, right? God, time flies, eh? So, don't want to go too orange. I'm going to keep this very much red, but, you know, enough of a highlight. Make it really jump out a bit. Just thin that down a touch more. And get the highlights on. Sometime last week. Hey man, my pleasure. Good to see you working as well, man. Alright, so quick highlights on the guns. Just going to work on the very front. We don't want these to be too bright because we're going to have to replicate this across everything else in the army, and we don't want a load of green guys with orange guns, but we do want to just bring a little bit of somewhat cartoony brightness to these bolt gun casings. Against the black, it's going to work really, really well. Against the darker greens, it's also going to look pretty sick. Little cannibal girl, how you doing? So you can see there's not a humongous amount of highlight there, but it's just enough to lift those up a little bit more. You're doing it awake. Awake is good. Usually. Awake is sometimes usually good. Pretty sure I know which way the votes will go, so making a poll for the forfeit choice. Awesome. Awesome. So let's start yelling out some forfeits for Des. We won't get the poll live yet. We'll still give it another 8 minutes on this poll that Jager set up. See which way the wind is going to blow. Will it be a forfeit? Will it be a prize? Des, pretty confident it's going to be Dying Hair chat choice. Ooh, Frozin gets a mohawk if he loses. Can't do that because it would have to be. I'd have to shave my mohawk off if I win, and I'm not gonna go down that route. Or the beard. This is fucking sacred. Like, no one fucks with a beard. Classic crush an egg on your face. Wow. Only one? Like, make it a dozen at least. Well, half a dozen is wasteful. Drink the paint water from the stream. Fuck no! It's gonna be metal in there and everything. That's not just unsanitary, that's dangerous. I know I licked my brush, but there's a fucking limit. Definitely not got an aggressor or an inceptor. An inceptor, I do have. We could do inceptors. Yeah, why not? Tattoo of the winner's name. I don't need my name tattooed on myself. I know who I am. You have a plasma inceptor. We could do plasma scepters. Yeah. Okay. Let's do plasma scepters. Because that's plenty of room for fun and funky plasma effects. Plenty of room for fun and funky bases, because you've got a clear base then. You know, he's not stood on it. Just got that fucking flight stick bollocks, but, you know. So settled. We're doing plasma scepters, the Frohawk co-stream. I'd normally say the mean against the machine, but I feel in this case I'm just both of those two things. I'm And Chris, we couldn't possibly paint Necrons because you can't afford to lose another Necron paint challenge, right? The Indom Ancient. No, apparently not, mate. No, Chris bought the Necrons from the Indomitus box. He didn't buy like a whole one for himself. So, guessing he had split seas with a buddy. He is. I know Chris is sat there going, "You fucker, you fucker." He did lose to Loz. She is, to be fair though, a very worthy opponent. Damn. See, I bought 3 boxes, gave 2 of them away. One to someone that was a YouTube sub, and we gave away half of another box to a Necron player and half the other box to a Marine player. So that was when we painted the Scorpec Lord and the Judicia on the Indom release weekend. It was a great weekend stream. The Scorpec Lord looking like Gypsy Danger was legit. Fucking loved that. Is it easy to set up shared Google Drive file, by the way? Yeah, I guess. There's brilliant. You'd have to win it back in the auction. So, the next question then. Should we both paint the same chapter? Nemod! Or, it's not demon backwards, is it? No. Thank you very much for that sub, dude. 4 months. If we're swapping paints out. Oh, I didn't know we were going to start. We don't necessarily have to start with the same paints, you see. I was just going to get people to pick like a hue. Like, pick red, pick green, pink, whatever, you know. Do it that way. What do you reckon, Chris? Do we paint the same chapter? Not necessarily the same company. Do we paint the same chapter? Sons of Aura. Ultra successor. Half red, half white down the middle. Fuck no. No. That sounds awful. No offense to anyone that plays the Sons of Aura. We're going to paint the same scheme and I struggle as each paint gets changed. I think that could be fun because that puts like a set of like decisions in place of like what order you're going to do things in. So got to start with the same paints. I'd say close to at least like same hues roughly. So not necessarily like, oh, it's got to be Cantor blue, but like a dark blue and then a light blue. So not necessarily Lothern blue, but, you know, ice blue or something. So we could do that. We need to work out a chapter. Yeah, exactly. We both use paints from different catalogs. You know I love my P3. So, okay, this is looking fun. It's looking like a lot of fun. Oh, Chris, why don't we just do this tomorrow? I'm painting lessons tomorrow. Okay. Why don't we just do this on Tuesday? No, I've got shit to do on Tuesday. Damn it! Nick, by the way, how much do you want for a plasma scepter? I owe you one. You'll have to have your mini primed before you start. I think you should be able to start with everything primed. Because that's like a basic step. That's as basic as assembly as far as I'm concerned. You know, without that, you're nowhere. And how many colours are we picking to begin with? Oh, God, there's so many decisions. So many decisions. Wow, Chris can't even spell Ultramarine. Great. if you're going to auction for charity, a character model will make more money than a single Inceptor though. It will, but equally, it has to be done within 4 to 8 hours. So when it gets like very detailed, it makes things a little harder to fit within that time frame. I appreciate what you're saying, and that's why I was asking if there was like the Chaplain and some of the other bits and pieces from Indom, which are characterful, but they're not necessarily too much. To be fair, I did a Harlequin in 8. If we're speed painting, then you know there's a lot of cutting corners. But then remember as well, we've got the added challenge of the chat swapping out paints, which is going to make everything a little harder. It's going to make your decisions very important. You know, don't want to get any of that paralysis going on. And they're swapping those paints out every 30 minutes. So it's going to be a rough one. I need to see if my analytical tournament playing mindset can take this challenge on. Do we need a color wheel? I mean, mine lives in my head, but we could do. We'll do a Primaris Lieutenant or something then. If I had one from the Dark Imperium box, because he's kind of static. We give that straw poll. Well, let's have a look at the results now. Let's just, if it's clear what the winner is, then okay, that is clear, but it's not as landslided as I thought. So that's not too bad. So it's going to be a forfeit. So the loser takes a forfeit. So everyone start messaging in chat what the forfeit should be. And then Chris and I can veto any of them off the list. That's fine. Like I said, like I'm not shaving this off and I'm, you know, and so on. There's going to be plenty of things that are like, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. But there you go. Chris is vetoing any alcohol. There's plenty of things that neither of us is either going to want to do or feel comfortable doing. And so those are automatically going to be taken out of the equation. So if we can get... Des said he's working on a poll for that. Let's get some suggestions in chat. Temporary dye hair. I mean, I've sprayed my mohawk colors on stream. Eat a chili on your next stream every 30 minutes. Fuck! Can I do chili sauce instead? Shave eyebrows? No. No. Chat says a colour scheme. You have to paint using CYMK and then chat votes who wins based on it. No. That's you have to snap your favourite brush. I'll fucking snap you. Wax strip chest hair. Yeah, okay. It's not a lot there to move off, so I feel like you get off lightly with that one. Can be done off cam. It can be done on cam. Like you wear a hoodie, and therefore you know no nips. So that could be done on cam. And why has Chris got to dress up as an Ultramarine? Chris, it will be, but it depends on what the chat asks us to swap to. You know, we both are competent artists. We both know our color theory and understand it, more importantly. But I feel that that's an interesting part of the challenge, which is why I like it. Because we can then show other people that you don't necessarily need paint X, Y, Z to do something. You can get a good, close approximation. So long story, it isn't relevant anymore. Aside from the fact you're dressing up as one. Seems relevant. Yeah, not breaking brushes. These are damn good brushes. Exclamation point brushes. Let's see what cool forfeits we do. Like I do like drink a double shot of chili sauce and stuff like that. You know, I got no issues with all that. Smash a mini. What? There's something wrong with you people. Well, I can't smash a mini. Most of what I paint is done for commission, so that's absolutely not on the cards. Also, no. Other fun forfeits. I would buy Chris a pizza. There you go. I'd buy him a takeaway and send it to his house so he can have dinner on me. That's a cool forfeit. Dinner on Jay. Not wait. You say on. I know what you mean. No. Like, oh, I didn't realize there's hot dogs. He's listening to pop music on his next stream. We can't play it though. That's the problem. And it should be my forfeit, not your forfeit. You know. Smash an egg on your head. I'm fine with that. That can be added. I will have a t-shirt printed that says I heart Chris Frosin on it and wear it on stream. That's an easy one. Yeah, that's an okay forfeit. Paint a miniature resembling the winner. I mean, Chris is going to have to chisel something out of concrete. It looks like the Emperor himself, frankly, but you know. Losers have to wear a costume picked by the winner for a normal stream. So I like that, but it depends on the costume, because if that costume is going to cost significant monies, maybe. But bear in mind my current job situation. The Zoo Space Wolves heads work for Jay. Absolutely. Mohawks at a very height of fashion. GW agrees. They started painting their bases darker colours, you know, down to at least Eshin Grey. Couldn't get into full black, but we convinced them to go a little bit further. It's not fucking brown anymore. And Mohawk support. Oh, cheers, dude. He's a cool model. I've got one that is to be used for a commission. I've got a couple of hard to get marine minis, such as Lieutenant Amalus. You know, that's a solid miniature. Great sculpt. That one came all the way from Adepticon. That was the Chicago version, not the reprint, redux, whatever you want to call it. Right, so this is Crozius looking nice and bright. Might just go in with a couple of extra highlights here and there just to bring that in a little bit more. But currently we're happy with it. Just want to keep this closer to red than orange, remember. Don't want to go too far. Paint a mini with your offhand. Oh, that's rough. I'm not even sure I could do it. I could try it, but I just don't even know if that's possible. I mean, I am fucking useless with my left hand, if I'm honest. During blanks on forfeit, still thinking about logistics of colour swapping. Daddy tells you, it's not that I wouldn't like it. It's just I don't know if I could. Like, let's just try and draw a line along this edge highlight. Okay, maybe I could. I'll not rule it out, but I don't think that's one of the best ones we could come up with. So, drag up for a stream. I've got nothing I could use for a wig or anything. And it's two lads that live in the house. There's not a shred of women's clothing here. So, forfeit, dry brush. Paint a whole mini using only dry brushing. That would be a forfeit for me. I can only make a Facebook post like that on my personal account, not on the business account. Charity shop, probably not open. Bear that in mind. Right, purity seals, and then we've got some other bits to do on the other hand, and then the red part is pretty much done. Might just go one highlight more on a few parts of the book to help differentiate that just a touch from the other reds and really make it pop out on the front of the bike. And then maybe we'll do the screen in here. That'll be next. It's gonna be green to match Samael's, and we need another video game for him. What was the 500th store mini? I don't remember that one. Comrade Cern, how you doing, man? This is a 12-hour stream and clear some piles of shame. That I'd be okay with. Yeah, 12 hours clearing some backlog stuff. Yeah. Although, to be fair, that would just be me doing a 12-hour stream. But yeah, that's fine. Lose has to do a 24-hour stream. That is... I'm still okay with that, especially with lockdown. In fact, I'm doing a 48-hour stream marathon on the 21st and 22nd of November, the Necronathon 2, where I paint the Silent King, the Void Dragon, Caesaras, like 60-odd Necrons, including those. 8-pointed star painting. Thank you very much for the follow, and welcome to the stream. So, yeah, I'm all down for the endurance stuff. I could do a 24-hour stream as a forfeit. Chris, how do you feel about that? What do you like for your marathon streams? You do a 24-hour, sure? Okay, so 24-hour stream. You can put that in the forfeit deck. Although, caveat, 24-hour stream where the loser every 2 hours has to tell their community how much they like the person that won. Color swapping. Have an agreement on light, mid, dark colors of each. If that color is picked to swap, you lose, for instance, a dark blue. You have to mix it with maybe a lighter blue you still have in your palette, etc. Could do. What I would probably do. This is another way of thinking about it, maybe. So let's say we get 10 colors to paint our minis with, and we already decided the chapter, so we choose colors that we can use for that, and then we take 10 other colors at random from our paint session, our paint collection, and put those in as well, and then chat basically gets to swap out any for any. So that way they don't have to worry about the entire collection. We have to pick paints that are not necessarily like complementary or contrasting, but not also not necessarily like a complete fuck up, right? So let's say we decide to do Imperial Fists. Well, I've probably only got 2 yellows that I'm going to use, and maybe the chat goes, well, actually, you can't use that yellow, but you've got bone in like your sideboard. You get bone instead. So I think that could work. Yeah, Daddy Tubbs, if that color gets swapped out, whatever is here, or we'll let you use what's on your brush. We'll let you use the last dregs of it that are on your brush, but nothing else from the palette. And that involves any mixes that you've made with it or anything else. So you can finish like that line, that panel perhaps. I'm gonna start painting with this motherfucker, like, you know. But that's it. Okay. I think we've got a good system in play for that. You have to clean palette, have new palette paper every 30 minutes. I mean, I'll probably just still use the same palette because mine's big enough. But then I just wouldn't use that color anymore. I'd throw some black in it or whatever to completely kill it. Right, I'm going to do one more highlight, like I said, on the book, just to bring that up a little bit further. So we've got a good system in place now. We understand how we're going to do our paint swapping. So huge thanks to Peckish Fox for being a complete and utter bastard on that. Gotta have some wildcards. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. You can't have like, oh, these are all the safe ones, you know. We decided we're going to paint, I don't know, salamanders, and in my sideboard are purple, pink, neon green, neon blue, you know, these sorts of things. I think this is correct, you know. Haven't got many forfeits. We've got a 24-hour stream where every 2 hours you tell the winner how much you like them, which I can guarantee you at 4 a.m. is not going to be a lot, but I know Chris will still tell me how much he loves me. So there's that. Communities can veto any sideboard paints we pick until we have 10. As long as we don't exhaust my paint collection, which is going to be hard to do. Yeah. Sure. And shots of hot sauce during the stream. Ooh. Ooh. For a 24-hour stream, shots of hot sauce is going to be extremely uncomfortable about 10 to 12 hours in. So I would suggest that's too much. I like my hot sauce. But when you're screaming curses at the fiery demon that's become your bumhole, I feel that is taking that a little far. Painting with the other hand, egg to the face. I still think 24-hour stream is a good forfeit. This does sound like fun, Chris. So Frohawk dual stream. Currently, we're thinking takes place November the 14th. We're both going to paint a plasma inceptor with you guys swapping our paint colors out. Let's get some more. So there's the forfeits. We've got chili sauce shots, 24-hour stream, dye hair, wax chest hair strip, smash an egg on your head, or wear a t-shirt with the other person's face and like I love whoever on. You can do your Decrari. So Chris wants to lose already, see? I've got him in that mentality. You've got this, guys. Don't you worry. We'll give it another... What time is it? It's 20 past 10 now. We're giving it 10 minutes for you guys to come up with some forfeits. You can get either me or Chris to do this, as long as it's not something that is like instantly vetoed. You'd wax your whole chest. There's about 6 hairs on there. Well, that's... I mean, you've got a few less than me, but not a lot less than me, let's be honest. So hang on a minute. Chris is looking for excuses now to paint his Drukari and wax his chest is what I'm getting out of this. Go for leg waxing. Oh, single strip. Not... Wow, not sure on that one, mate. Not the leg. That's too much. That's too much. One of the wild cards could be either painted, choose a color. Oh, like a lifeline. Oh, so you get a color back in at some point. All the way up. There's no. Like I don't want to wax my leg. It's more the thing. Like I do a wax strip. If that's the forfeit you guys decide, I feel there are worse than that. Like I feel there are much worse than that. But that'll be okay. I still think a good forfeit is a loser buys the winner a meal for 2. I still think that's a good one. I'd buy Chris dinner, you know. Right, let's get some greens, and we're going to do his little video display. I appear to have about 1 million greens. We'll start with a good old Dork Angles green. Let's grab some necktie green, because I love it. And it's fun. Double meal just for me. Brilliant. You say it's a reward, but it's like crisscross, right? You get both. So the loser loses and the winner wins. You know. Brush your teeth with chili sauce. No, I'd have to brush them afterwards with normal toothpaste, so it seems like a waste of time. But I do like eat a plate of super fiery hot chicken wings or something like that. I got no issues with stuff like that. But equally, I quite like spicy food. So, and I don't have like a stomach ulcer or anything. So, yeah. Dork Angles, absolutely, mate. Dork Angles. Four candles, exactly. Well done, well done. I didn't know if you were going to go there as well, but that's exactly where my head went. Paint a fine cast model using only black and white paint. That could be fun. 4 candles, handles, you know, for forks. I need some bulbs. 40 watt or 60 watt? Daffodil. Eat a 69p microwave lasagna. I don't have a microwave. Any army forfeit is going to be horrendous. The winner gets his meal bought and the loser eats 2-minute noodles at the same time on stream. Okay, I'm down for food challenges. Like, what about eats a can of beans cold out the can? Because that's horrible. The consistency is something else. So bad. So bad. The flavor, okay. But what? The chalkiness. Right, let's just do a green screen. And we need a video game, old school video game. This is clearly a wide screen. So it's going to have to fit on this. What can we have this guy playing? Samael was playing either Tetris or Pong, and the Talon Master was playing the other one. Can't remember which way around it was. I can't do Weetabix, mate, gluten. So. Gonna be Asteroids. Ooh. Yeah, alright. Pac-Man. Ideally, we'd need, the screen's too wide, I think, to probably do Pac-Man. It's like letterbox. So, better assemble that Inceptor. Yes, man. Let's go Asteroid screenshots. So here's a few pics of Asteroids. It's got to be green screen. That's the only thing. Like no color, just green screen. Dark Angels, Dark Age of Technology, must be green screen. What about eating that super sour candy, Warheads, I think it's called? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Loser eats a bag of sugar-free gummy bears. I mean, the worst food that you can imagine eating. I'm not falling for that trap. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. Something along those sorts of lines. This is a better picture. So we need to do Asteroids. The rotten fish from Sweden. Actually, one of the worst things I've ever eaten is a Norwegian candy called Salt Scum, which is salted licorice and no. Eat a durian fruit. Eating a durian fruit, and I think it's durian fruit is fine. Smelling a durian fruit is not. I've eaten durian fruit. It's a bit like a custard apple, a little bit, but it's the smell. It's like no, the smell of that is it's like actual rotting ass. No, I had that in Bali and cannot recommend at all. However, the flavor of it's okay. Once you get past that, and that takes a lot of getting past. Like, a lot of getting past. But once you are, it's okay. No, we're going to go for Asteroids. So, just going to start getting a little bit of shade on our screen. So just mixed a little bit of Necrotai in with our Thorkangle's green. Just going to get a little parabola on there. Okay. Too many sprues. Ban yourself. Ugh. Just no. Where'd you even come from to think that that might be acceptable? Got 8 forfeits now. Okay, we've got 8 forfeits. We've got an hour left in the stream. Do the milk challenge. Drink 2 gallons at once. Okay, drink 10 cans of Red Bull and then paint a mini in 30 minutes. 30 minutes? You have to do a whole squad in that time after that. Only marginally too many sprues. Only marginally. That is the cutest animal in the world, but makes the awfulest smells. Nothing that cute should get that out the other end. It's like the inverse law of Meep or something. The whole like drink 2 gallons of milk in one go could be interesting. I'm just not sure I could actually deal with it, like, internally. But I'd do a food challenge, like, as a food forfeit. Yeah, no issue. Humans lesson known, 5th law. The cuter the cat, the smellier the poo. Yep. Pretty much. Right, now we need to do triangles, squares, hexagons, pentagons, septagons, and so on. We need the ship. What we're actually going to do, we're going to mix these up with white to go brighter rather than yellow. So going with like proper old school green screen style, where colours just got brighter rather than got more value. So start mixing up something we can use for the ship. Let's get the ship in, and then we can work from there. Are we doing the same chapter? I think we should do the same chapter. Yeah. So we also need a chapter vote, but maybe that should be something we don't necessarily do on stream. Like, what's the best way of doing something like that? Would be like a Facebook poll or something? Put it up for a week. Right, so there's our ship. Little triangle. We need to get some dots for his shots. Craig, I'm not surprised, man. Right, then we need to do... I want to do a slightly different hue. I want the player to be brighter than everything else. So let's mix up our everything else color. And then on the screen here, they've got a slightly different color for his engine burst, so we could try and do something for that as well. So let's do a little square. Triangle coming in up here. One for Jay, as Chris mentioned, didn't do booze, a drunk gaming stream. I could take that. Yeah, we could do like, if you can find a free-to-play game, we could do a community game. So that way everyone's got a chance to get it, and then we'll stream the game being played. What happens if you shot something in Asteroids? Did it lose sight or did it just blow up? I can't remember. Let's do this bit closing in from that back edge though. I drink during a stream, but no shots or chili vodka. Don't mind drinking cider, etc. while you stream. What's Among Us? Yeah, eat you totally. Like, as long as you're not promoting it, which, admittedly, being shit-faced on stream could easily count as. You're okay. Which is why I drink a lot of apple juice on stream. Okay, yeah, we could do, yeah, like a community-based drunk gaming stream with whatever Among Us is. What is Among Us? Is that what everyone in the Hellstorm chat was playing earlier on today? With that little spaceman-looking doodads. Alright, let's go super pale now for like a jet wash. Do it through Discord, through its thing. People doing stuff on a ship and 2 saboteurs. Oh shit. Okay. That sounds fun. But I'd want, if we did it, I'd want it to be a community thing rather than like a public thing. So you could do it on Discord. We could have like a Discord stream party. I'm happy to stream it, but if we do it on Discord, then we don't have to worry about Twitch's terms of service and everything else. I've been memed in a game group on Discord for being the most sus person in game. Okay. Squeezill getting his sub on. That's 4 months on streak as well. Dude, thank you very much. How are you? So yeah, community gaming stream whilst being otherwise worse for wear. We could do. So that gives us 9. I think that's okay. And there is mostly asteroids. I'm just going to wipe out some of what I've literally just put down. Don't love that so much. Just going to darken Get rid of that. There you go. So boom, we've got him playing Asteroids. And Jager getting his sub on as well. 6 months. Found you during Lockdown 1. Now bring on Lockdown 2. Electric Boogaloo. Nice. Nice. Gotta love that Lockdown. Right, now just going to grab a little bit of Necrotide green. And go for a much more vibrant green to use as the outside edge of our little game screen. Give that a quick final highlight. Just to nicely border everything we've got there. I just like the fact that in the dark age of technology, they've all just got green screen video games. Yeah, I'd pay £4 for a game we could play on stream as a forfeit. Finding the time would be the real forfeit for me there. That's the hard one. Right, just gonna grab a little bit of black and a little bit of green. Mix those together. So you've got something super dark. Chuck in a little bit of red, so you end up with something that's pretty much brown. See, I know my color theory. And I'm going to use that to just get a quick recess shade. A few areas that we've been a little bit cavalier with our use of staying inside the lines. Okay, just get a little bit more detail snapped back in on the handle there, and I've got a little bit still in the book as well. Book took a few hits, unfortunately, to its little details. And then we'll grab the gold paint out. We can do all of the bits of metal on the book. We can do the chains, they'll be silver, the lock will be gold. Bolt gun bits need to be silver, and that's then all the base coats down for our metallics. Which is nice. Door angles aren't going to be killing many people if all they're doing is playing video games. That's why they're so full of secrets, mate. They don't want anyone to find out their cheat codes. There you go. That's just got that book looking nice and tidy now. Even on the super zoom, you know, you can see that's quite crisp just by putting that shadow back in. So big difference. Get the gold paint out. Put that back up to a more useful zoom, at least. Gold paint I don't have out. Dwarven gold, here we go. Auto Amano. We got one more. I'll tell you what. Here you go. What forfeit should we include in a list of forfeits for a painting contest between me and Chris Frosin? We're both going to paint a Plasma Inceptor in somewhere between 4 and 8 hours on stream. We're going to then ask our various communities and the rest of our Instagram and so on to vote on who's got the best one. And the loser takes a forfeit. So, this is my housemate who knows me better than almost anybody else on the planet. Pick a forfeit.
Anything bad?
I'm not shaving the mohawk or the beard, and there's obviously a few Twitch terms of service things that you can imagine.
Yeah.
But, come on.
What do you think of the grants?
Alcohol is fine. However, I'm not drinking a bottle of grass in one sitting.
There's half a bottle there.
That's a lot of grass.
That's a lot of grants.
But Chris won't do anything alcohol based.
Fair enough.
Not that much alcohol based.
Disgusting. And
It's fucking grim. Marley, if you're watching, never buy that shit for anyone ever again.
I reckon you hate dry brushing with like a burning passion.
I do hate dry brushing with a burning passion. Yes, the chat may have brought this up.
I feel if you dry brush a miniature, but you can only use regular paintbrushes, not Citadel paintbrushes. I'm talking the ones you buy down at like B&Q. Those ones.
What, like these fucking awful ones that I use for putting pigment on bases?
Yeah. Pigment paste whilst dry brushing, and that has to be included in your Necron list. As a miniature, you have to bring to each Necron game.
The armies for stream.
Fair enough.
So I could paint a mini using literally just dry brushing and using. So Ben's suggestion is that I do a miniature where I only paint in dry brushing using like chunky fucking brushes, not even like small brushes, but like child's brushes, and that's it. So
Alternatively, you need a pot of whelks.
a pot of whelks.
Yeah.
I think I've ever had whelks.
Yeah. That's the pot, actually. You need a pot of whelks. You go to a bathroom, it's fine.
What? What? What is it gonna make me do?
Pot of whelks.
So yeah, let's see if Chris is still here. Oh really? Oh, I hate being sick. With fucking burning passion, I hate vomiting. Ugh. What are whelks? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay. I said I'd do food challenge. I don't know if Chris has got any like seafood allergies or whatever. So if that is the case, and that's the one that gets picked, then we'll go for whatever's next in line. So there's add it to the list and set it up. Six shot of apple vinegar. Might rather lick my own testicles than that. Can't do that on stream before anyone suggests that as a forfeit. There's a limit of 3 choices on straw poll, I think. I know you can set it to can select more than one. Apparently, Ben, a pot of whelks might make you vomit.
No.
Oh. Oh, okay, that's good then. Okay. Allow multiple choices. Yes, but if you can limit the number of choices to only a couple rather than people voting for like all of them, then that would be ideal. I'm just not sure you can do that. But yes, allow multiple choice. And then ideally, guys, just sort of vote for your favourite 3. I say favourite 3, like most fiendish 3. And put the link in the chat. Who knows? It might turn out I like whelks, whatever whelks are. Why did I ask Ben anything? His original one was going to be I have to drink the half a litre of Grants that we've got sat there, which is some of the worst whiskey ever. So here's the straw poll. Okay, so we've got chili sauce shots. 24-hour stream. Every 2 hours, have to shout out to the winner. Wow. Okay. Buy winner a meal for two. Dye hair color of chat's choice. Wax a leg strip. Oh wow. Smash an egg on your head. Have a t-shirt printed saying I love winner and wear on stream. Chris, you're back. Okay. So Chris, here are the forfeits. Choose one or more answers. So we have shot of chili sauce. Well, it says shots, but you know, at least a double I feel is good there. A 24-hour stream. Every 2 hours you have to shout out to the winner. Buy the winner a meal for two. Dye hair color of chat's choice. Wax a leg strip. Smash an egg on your head. Have a t-shirt printed saying I love the winner and wear it on stream. Paint a fine cast model using black and white. Drinking/gaming stream, or eat a pot of whelks. So choose your three. Ideally up to three. You know, don't press them all because I'm a fucking 10-way tie. I'm gonna pick 4 and be a rebel. So I know what I'm voting for. I'm not gonna press my vote yet. I'm gonna press it at some point in the near future. So other people have voted, and my choices are disguised slightly. You okay with all those, Chris? Is there anything there that you need to veto? According to Ben, whelks won't make me vomit, but it might be like a... You sat down for a while. Jay, seriously, veto the whelks. Really? What's this YouTube video? Okay. Well, I think Chris has also vetoed the whelks, whatever whelks are. So not the whelks, whatever votes are on whelks. Okay. Okay. But everything else, fair game. Chris, I'm gonna send you some fucking hot chili sauce if we end up with that one. Best thing is, or the worst thing is, I should say, not the best thing. The worst thing is, it's really tasty as well. Some banging habanero sauce. It's fuck hot, but nom, 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 nom. So we'll let that run till the end of the stream. And then Chris, if you got a good way where we can get people en masse to vote for a chapter. Not sure if I've got any chili sauce left to send back to you. Just a little bit of gold. Just there. See, in this book is clearly like the cheat codes for asteroids, for infinite lives. That's why it's chained down. Can't have some fallen running off with this. This is important stuff. Importing Dark Angel's tech from the Dark Age of technology. Everyone else making robots and AI and, you know, being told off for it. Dark Angels. IDDQD. Somebody will have gotten that. Alpha Legion. I've got an Alpha Legion Primaris army. I did enjoy painting those, but I don't really like the colour scheme, so I'm probably going to sell them, actually. So if anybody's in the market for a Alpha Legion Marine army that is occasionally in here, Instagram poll is only up to 4. Okay. We could do a straw poll, but then linking it on Instagram is a bit of a pain. What's your Facebook traffic like, Chris? Because mine, I never really promote it. Facebook is a thing that I don't really like. So I just have Instagram post to Facebook for me. Could narrow it down to 4. We could just run that costly and add up. Oh, okay. Cool. We could do. Yeah. So let's try and get down to 4 then. Hey, got any tips for getting a shiny latex effect? I'm thinking of grabbing some assassins and a Crulier the Vial. I do, in fact. To paint gloss effects on miniatures, you need to go through your highlight progression really, really quick. And keep your highlights super, super small and very sharp. So if, for instance, I wanted to do a gloss effect on, say, the bolt guns, because frequently I'll do like gloss black bolt guns. You do black paint for everything. You do a mid-grey, but towards the darker side of it. Nedra86, thank you for the follow. So if you're using GW paints, you could go for like the Mechanica standard grey, so grey that's sort of battleship grey or below kind of colour, and then you take white and you do tiny white highlights. There are some assassins in here every now and again, and they had that effect on. The Ultramarines that you'll see in there had that effect on. And it gives you the illusion of something that is actually shiny, glossy. Therefore, you can use that on like your vinyl, sort of latexy catsuit, skin suits, whatever. No worries, dude. Right, let's grab some bolt gun. We've been using that for all of our chains. That's silver. That's steel. Two metals. Gun metal, here we go, not bolt gun. Do a straw poll for a couple of days to get the top 4 and then Instagram vote it for the next week. We could do, so why don't we get one set up? You and I can share it on all our streams for next week and get votes that way. Do you want to set one up? You got the next, what's your next stream? Mine's Tuesday. When's yours? Yours is tomorrow. Cool. So if you set up a straw poll, let's say no more than 20 choices for chapter on there. Launching the Mortarion raffle tomorrow. What the hell? Tell us about the Mortarion raffle. But yeah, chat, how do you feel about that? If we get like 20 choices of chapter, and then we'll add them all to the list. I definitely vote for Ultramarines to be on the list, because I secretly, not so secretly, love Ultramarines. I just do actually think they're cool. Raffling off this guy, he says. Oh, yes. Fucking absolutely yes. So this is not like Mortarion 40k, this is Mortarion 30k. I've seen this on Chris's site. It's been up for a while. This is awesome, dude. It's a really cool model. You've done a great paint job. The base is sick. So yeah, I like that a lot. So tomorrow night, tune to Chris's stream. Give him a follow now to be notified when he goes live. And you could potentially win yourself Mortarium. 30k Mortarium. Primarch of the Death Guard. So yeah, let's have Ultramarines on the list, because I do just like them. There's a reason they're poster boys. I like the colour scheme. I think they all, like, Ultramarines in the lore, if you read some of the actual lore books, are kind of square, but they're quite cool. Like, Uriel Ventress is a really cool character. Some of the Ultramarine stuff with Heresy is just ace. I love the Mark of Calth. That is one of my favourite Heresy books. Fucking Bobby G stomping round outside a spaceship in deep space, murdering word bearers. Oh, he's a fucking badass. However, you know, they're not really the life and soul of the party, are they? But the look of Ultramarines, like that crisp parade ground Ultramarine, they do look nice. That's why I'm always up for doing Ultramarine commissions. I've got a couple of clients that I've done them for. They've been well happy. No Fear is epic. Which one's that? What happens in that one? Like, try and keep it relatively spoiler free, I guess, but we're just about to go into, I think it's Saturn, something like that. Saturnine. That's the next book in the Siege of Terror I need to read. But a new Jack Reacher book got released last week, so I'm reading that at the moment because I'm a big fan of that series. You're doing Eldar Wraith Army next. You have a recommended company for airbrush stencils. Try Anarchy Models in the UK. Their self-adhesive ones are a little too sticky though. Like, careful. Brushfire second stream. We could go and support him again. Yeah, Corey's a good guy. Spent a little time on Saturday tuning into his stream, trying to give him some love and some support. It's good to see new people streaming. Listen to Horus Heresy books through Audible like a movie for my ears. I haven't got any of the Horus Heresy audiobooks yet. I'm listening to, so I switched to doing audiobooks while I paint instead of watching like Netflix or whatever, and I'm feeling way more productive as a result, because you're looking at the miniature all the time, you're not constantly like that. And I'm listening to the Talon of Horus, I think, one of the Black Legion books. So far, Flesh Tearers, Raven Guard, Ultramarines, Red Scorpions, and Imperial Fist keep shouting. I really like Raptors. I think Raptors look fucking sick, so let's put them on. As we're painting Dark Angels, let's get some Dark Angels on. Why not? White Scars, says Des, who frankly is a bastard at that point. But yeah, we could do White Scars. I'm going to switch out white. It's going to get difficult. What next? Switching out red. Minotaurs. Yeah, put Minotaurs down. Nick, take care, man. I'll see you in the morning. Let me know when you're half an hour out and I'll get the bacon sarnies on. Iron Hands, that is one of the dullest chapters to paint. It really is. And let's be honest, with that, all someone's got to do is veto black and you're fucked. So, Kets, I've got Audible, actually. I only just sort of subscribed to it, and as a Prime person, I get 2 credits a month, I think. Or was it just for the first month? I don't remember. But yeah, loving that right now. That's good. Emperor Spears, Iron Snakes. I have no idea what an Iron Snake is. Just for the first month. Okay. Howling Griffins. Fuck no. That's just a no. No quarter panels. I hate that shit. It's a pain in the ass to paint. But it's also just... I just don't like the way they look. Hey Jay, what are we talking about? And I hear random chapter names. So Black Dragons. So what we're talking about, mate, and for anyone that may have joined chat late like Maladeus, that's only really reproachful. It wasn't meant that way. Mr. Chris Frosin and I are doing a dual stream. It's the Frohawk dual stream, where we are currently voting on 2 things. After we've painted our minis, we are going to put them through to our social media sort of groups. We're going to get a vote going on who has the nicest mini out of the 2. We're both going to paint the same mini. It's a Plasma Inceptor. We're both going to paint it in the same chapter. And then the loser, whoever doesn't get the most votes from their community, has a forfeit to do. And that vote, that link will take you to a straw poll where you can vote for what you feel the forfeit should be. Now, to make things slightly more interesting, not only are we painting the same chapter, but every half an hour through the stream, which is what we streamed, every half an hour, the chat gets to decide on one of our colours that we've chosen to paint our minis in, and we can't use that colour anymore. They swap it out for another one. So it could make things very, very difficult. Chris, I think this is going to be hilarious, mate. Utterly hilarious. So we're looking for some good chapters to paint in. Can be pretty much anything. So it's going to be fun. Emperor Spears. We've got Sons of Medusa. Yes, I had an entire Sons of Medusa army back in 7th edition. You think the 40k ones? We're both doing Plasma Inceptors. So yes, we're definitely seeing the 40k models. It's going to be hilarious. Rainbow Marines could work. Des, you're being about as helpful as a marzipan dildo at this stage. Soul Drinkers, are they purple and gold? Have I got the right ones for that? Right, we get all the bits of silver. We've done the chain, we've done the bolt gun bits. Everything else I'm pretty reasonably sure I picked up beforehand. Yarp. Yarp. Oh, we had a little bit of gold to do. We need to do skulls, so on gold as well. Purple and silver. Cool. Winter Knights. What are Winter Knights? Try and do the Retributors again. Oh, when chat veto's grey. Like, I don't even know what a Retributor is. my knowledge of Space Marine chapters is poor. Like, I know the main ones because they have rules, and so I know what to look out for on the table. That's kind of it. I forgot to paint the skulls earlier on. Like the Emperor Spears, to be honest. Okay. Oh, the Astartes ones. Yes, they were fucking sick. I've still got that chibi to finish, actually. Yeah. He's mostly finished. We did a little bit of freehand work on him here and there throughout my little break from commission painting for a month, which turned into me just painting Magnus instead. So I didn't take a break. And now, no breaks. No breaks. Full-time commissions. So I've currently got some room in January if anyone is looking for a commission. I've got a commission so far to paint Belisarius Call and 6 of the Dakar robots for a Mars AdMech army. But that's it. Have a chibi. I need to paint over the horrible Ultramarine Kurosaki. Yeah. White clothes look cool. White, black, and gold. No idea what they are, but sounds cool. Chris, that's awesome, dude. So if we got 20 chapters yet, are we closing in? Gonna have this boy finish, Grandmaster J. Brookie. How you doing, pal? He's going to be finished actually relatively soon. But I've got a load of bits. So we're going to do this as a Patreon tutorial for how to paint some freehand. And we're going to do this as a YouTube video tutorial to how to take a sort of fairly basic Games Workshop base and turn it into something that looks a little bit more special. And start to finish it. So we're going to start off with this. We're going to add a load of bits to it as part of the video. We're going to paint it all as part of the video and then mount the finished Chaplain on top of it so you can see it all in its fucking epic glory. Because let's be honest, the bit of base work that they've done here, which is put a little bit of greenish stuff at the front there using their static grass, paint it in sand and dry brush it, doesn't really capture the imagination very much. Red Templars, yes. They're the Black Templars but with red and black instead of black and white, right? I'd be well up for those. So we're going to show people how to turn that into something that looks like a real base and not an afterthought, which is kind of what you've got there. I know it's better than them just giving you like a flat oval. And I know a lot of people get a bit like raw with GW's. Every model is stood on a bit of rubble scheme that they've got going on at the moment. But you can do a lot with a base. And people, I really think, tend to leave them as an afterthought. I'm like, oh, I painted the mini, I've got to do something with that. I'll just chuck some sand down, fuck it. So, also, Danny, well done, mate. You are here. You're in time to vote on some forfeits that either myself or Mr. Frozin may have to take. We're coming up to the end of the voting on that very soon. So, Carcharodons, fuck off. I don't mind doing the freehand, but someone vetoes white at the point you get to there, and you're like, I'm stuck. So, you know, that's a rough one. So Chris and I are going to have a challenge, the Frohawk dual stream, where he and I both paint a Space Marine Plasma Inceptor. So just a Gravis Marine with some extra bits. Whoever paints the best one, as voted by our collective communities, gets off. with no issues whatsoever. The loser, however, has to do a forfeit, and there is a straw poll that we've got, which is there. If you go and vote on some forfeits, we're also collating some chapters that Chris is sort of building up a poll for, and between he and I over the next week or so, probably culminate next Sunday, Chris, we're going to have a vote on which chapter we're going to paint these models on. You've got 13 so far. Got fists. Black Templars. It's kind of difficult one, you know. Why don't we do Cool Marines? Cool Marines. How many altering successor chapters are there? Stormlords, Firelords, Celestial Lions. There we go. We've got 3 more. Shout the winner's name every 2 hours. Yeah, on a 24-hour stream, mate. Hawklords, Doom Legion. Don't know what Doom Legion are. They sound fun. I think we've got all of the Forge World ones. Red Scorpions, Raptors. Legion of the Damned would be great, but difficult to paint on any sort of time limit. Would be fun, but very difficult to paint. Remember, both Chris and I are going to stream this as a dual stream. I think what I'll do is I'll put Chris just here as a little window for his stream, and get another view for like a main view for when we need to sort of flick back and forth. Blood Ravens. How did we not get Blood Ravens? The Sega Marines on there. Yeah, need that one. Have we got? Are there any Space Marine armies that are like bone coloured? Oh, what the fuck is this guy? He looks sick. Oh. Alright. Why not? Let's go and visit that article. So, I really like this guy in the bottom right and this guy in the bottom left. How to paint everything, successive chapters of Goonhammer. If we got pictures of... Yes. Oh, good God. Right. Excoriators. I like that. Bone, black trim, red details, black bolt guns, grey chest piece. They look cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Excoriators. Never heard of them before. The Regal Skulls. Purple and bone. Could be fun. And there's even some plasma scepters in the background there. Liking that. Taurens, says AJC72. But yeah, they look fun. They look a bit boring, actually. They look like raptors, but not as fun. It just looks weird. I'm not a fan. Blood Ravens. Cool. So yeah, that Excoriators was good. Are we up to 20? Subjugators. Sons of the Phoenix look really sick, actually. Like that one I could get behind. 40. Okay, what are Subjugators? Oh wow. Violently green. So, bam. Super green. We could do that. We must be getting close in on 20. Got to by now. You're 13 a while back and we were properly hammering suggestions out now. Right, we're going to leave the poll running for the forfeits until the very end of the stream, but we are going to do the whip gallery now. So exclamation point Discord, get yourself a link over there, go and join in the community and come and share your work so we can check it out on stream. You're at 19. Okay, so add one more, mortifactors. What are mortifactors? What do they look like? Ooh, yeah, okay. They're a bit like the one we just looked at. Admiral Ryder, thank you very much for the follow. So yeah, we'll leave the forfeit up for a little while longer, 15 minutes or so, till the end of the whip gallery. And then we'll see what the forfeit is going to be. Mr. Mason Ater, as long as you post it during the stream, you will be fine, dude. So, in the whip gallery, Macy was doing some work at 9:15, so we're starting here with him. He's working on some murder buckets, painting some red. Liking it, dude. Plenty of projects from you at the moment. It's good to see. Not a bad blend on that either. Maybe go back in with a darker colour and just glaze downwards to help cement that back into the shadow. But otherwise, looks fine, dude. Dax Moran says, proof that dry brushing has its uses. So here's my problem, my biggest problem with doing dry brushing on something like this. Look at all of that dirt and sort of nasty shit you've got going on. The weathering, basically. All of that could have been better achieved with pigments, not dry brushing. Because all of that dirt should settle in the recesses. And not on the higher surfaces. This is why dry brushing to me is almost always counter-effective. But you've done a good job with it. The mini looks great. You know, the laser thing he's got on there, the mining laser, looks fucking sick. It's got hazard stripes, which are my favourite thing ever. But I'm also... the text you get from that dry brush is... yeah. Chris, you can post a link to it in the chat here. Is this you? This is you. Cool. Right, Strata. 10 more Stinky Boys done, minus bases, he says. Nice, getting those Poxwalkers on the go. Love those orange jumpsuits, man. And what I'm going to assume is Mortarion in the background. Maybe just a Demon Prince, but certainly looking like a Lord of Death. Nice, dude. Keep going. Keep going. Mr. Mason, not a problem, dude. Mine too. Right, here's Rob with, this is Celeste, I think, which definitely has the sort of view that he's going to one of those clubs that have a lot of neon light and black light stuff going on. So, you know, interesting paint scheme. Okay, here we go. Here's the chapter poll. Chris says, so guys, the chapter poll is here. Please consider all the options carefully as we're both going to paint the shit out of these models. A, for charity, and B, to make Jay do a 24-hour again. Jay's doing a 24-hour stream this month already. I could do two. Not an issue. But Chris, when you're drinking all that chili sauce, you're going to remember my name. So here's the poll. Choose one answer as well. One answer. I really like these, so I might vote for them, but I love Raptors. So I'm going to have to think about this. I don't even know what some of these are. Like, I have no idea what that is. Or that. So I'm going to have to Google some of these, and I'll come back and cast my vote shortly. But, Rob, only 3 from now on if you can, please, mate. But no, look, your basing scheme is different. To me, it's too much of a contrast with what you've got, and there's not really a lot going on with it. But overall, mate, you know, you're smashing through this army. I know a lot of it's contrast, but that's what you're at the moment. That's totally fine. Luke Skywalker, how you doing? Butt shot, and then we'll move on. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. Right, Quid. First Death Guard I've ever painted. Loved the process using different materials and a lot of pigments. Had a lot of fun with this one. Looking forward to painting more. Very cool, mate. So we saw this last time with literally just the base coats put in, and now it's kind of finished. Want me to add the link to Discord links, Jay? Sure. That'd be good, actually. Thank you. Nice work, man. Honestly. It's probably just the photo, but I think some of your bone looks a little washed out, which is why I think it's the photo. It's hard to see some of those details there. So if that is the case, just try and lower the exposure a little bit next time you take a shot with your phone. Most like cell phones will have like a brightness at least that you can change. So just sort of knock that down a little bit and off you go. Mr. Mason, how does my boss knob look? I started painting earlier this year and I'm not the best. Dude, unless your name's Sergio Calvo, you're not the best. My name isn't, so, you know. We've all got room to improve. Is he on tracks? Yes, he is. Epic. Okay, cool. Right, let's go from the front. So, I'm going to gloss over the blood on weapons. It's not my thing. I think most of the time it looks bad. It takes a great deal of skill to make that look realistic. So we're going to go past that. I'm not going to worry about it. You've got the same... I won't say issue. That's the wrong word. The same thing to work on as most painters of your level, which is getting your colours to a point where they are crisp but also tidy, and they also have like a set of shadows, midtones and highlights themselves. Okay, if you have all of those things, what you end up with is contrast on the miniature, so things start to look a little bit more interesting. You've got all of those things that line up and draw the eye to them. One of the things that you could do is, and you've done this quite well with your yellows, you've kind of got brown up to yellow and it looks a bit dirty brown, it looks a little bit weathered and battered, and that's great. But your skin tone, which takes up most of the sort of top portion of the mini, could do it a little bit more. I can see a few bits of brown in there, like sort of speckled in. I can see some of your shadows in there, and then you've kind of got this one sort of bulk flesh tone which expands to everything else. If you look at the face, which should be the focal point of any model that you're painting, like to give you an idea, this Dark Angels dude on bike I'm painting, if we flick back a sec, and this is an overly stylized thing, but his helmet is a bone skull to sit in there, and that's going to stand out miles from the rest of the miniature. This is exaggerated by the fact that it is a skull for a start and is painted bone against something that's black, so it's going to draw the eye regardless of how good it was. But your face is tricky on this model. You've got this big mouth guard around the bottom of it that covers up half of it, so you've only got this portion of the mini to work with, so it needs to be really, really well done. What I'd suggest is to start working on some highlights, and if you're unsure how to highlight, then stick around in the stream for a little bit over the next couple of shows that we do. There's a few YouTube videos out there. There's plenty that I've done. I did one on Orc skin, but unfortunately I had to take the VOD down because of some music copyright issues. But with your skin, if you look at darkening down your recesses, so you've got these like exaggerated top lip, and then there's like up dimples he's got, I guess. Make sure those are nice and dark, and then add in some yellow to your green. So mix that in just a little at a time, thin it down, and then start painting things like the cheekbones, the eyebrow line, so on and so on. You'll start to build up a progression of lighter tones that will make the face look a little bit more sort of in focus, a little bit more sort of snap to, and a bit more realistic as well. And it's quite quick to do once you get into the hang of it, but learning how to highlight like that can be a lot of work. So don't despair. You've already started and you've done well out of this. Like I said, your yellow is looking good, and ask anyone in the chat, they'll tell you yellow is one of the hardest colours for most sort of novice painters to paint. You've done pretty well with yours, so you should definitely feel happy about that. Overall, mate, I like it. Side shot. Looks good. You know, you can see the delineation on the arm of all that muscle. Just go a little bit further, get an extra highlight on top to start bringing out the effects of the light rather than just the general shape of muscle, no muscle. And then kind of the same here. It's difficult to see some of the details. By getting those highlights in there, it will really, really help you out. Okay. Right, Frozin was working on... Dude! I like this. So going back to what we were just saying, right? We just had one mini that was kind of a riot of colour. The green, the red, the yellow, all of the metals sort of all coming in together. But it was difficult to see things. Now look at this miniature. Everything has that light point, so you highlight, the mid-tone and the shadow. And because all of the elements of this model have those, they all look separate. So you can see every part of this really, really clearly and really easily. Chris, I really like this, mate. Nice looking motley. Diamond pattern, always a pain in the ass. Crosshatch, always a pain in the ass. Your red is on point. Yeah, this is solid, dude. Is this one that you've printed? And that is a horrible looking foot to be like kicked with. So they got blade feet. Loving it. Great work on the face as well. And this goes back to what we were just saying. You've got those darker areas in around the eyes. You've got the brighter areas for the cheekbones, that immediate harsh shadow underneath. You know, these are the kind of highlights you can apply to a face or to any kind of skin in general to really bring those details together. I really like the Mr. Sinister style diamond on the forehead. That looks great. Nice one, pal. Really, really cool. Grimrock. Finally managed to do some stream watching and painting. Think about how to improve him a little. Any advice is appreciated. Firstly, have GW make this guy plastic and the correct size, because he is a little bit of a mini Demon Prince, which is a shame. I love the purple. That looks sick. You've got all those shadows in there, especially around the abs, that midsection. That's looking tight. Really like the sort of glowing effect that you've got on the 8-pointed star. That's really cool. I'm not sold on his hands. I don't know what you've gone for there, but for me, it hasn't really worked. If you look at the hand holding the sword, you've got purple, 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 purple. He's wearing a blade bracelet, red. Why is the bracelet? Is this just cutting off circulation? That's kind of where we're at with it, right? So I don't understand the red hands. I'd go back to purple. If you're looking at, like, he's got blood-drenched claws. Again, it's not really my favorite thing, but I would just glaze in a little red from the fingertips rather than red to here and then a line and then purple. I would also get a tiny extra bit of shadow just in around his eye. So with glowing eyes, one of the best things to do is to get a nice bright bit here, and then a line, and then hit the OSL thing just underneath that, because it helps give shape and definition to the eye. I think he's lost a little of his. We got a close up of the head? No, we've got this one from the other side though. So if you look at his eye, it's very much like a large yellow thing, rather than it having the shape, and just having that tiny shadow line just in around where the eyeball is itself. That will help give you some of that back. I can also see that you may or may not have used a dry brush here on the wings, and I'd probably just go in there and line highlight in some of that. It will make everything look a little bit tighter, a little bit neater. It'll pop out some of those highlights a little bit more. I think that's always the best way to go. Dry brushing is not a good technique for... Okay, let me really get to the point with dry brushing. If all you give a shit about is taking your mini and painting it and getting it on a table, it's fine. If all you care about is like the bare minimum for what you need to do, it's fine. If you're looking to improve your painting, put your dry brushes away. Don't even use them for bases. Keep them because you'll need them one day, but stop dry brushing. Because that technique on the wings, you could argue that it would give an effect that is a leathery kind of rough texture, but it doesn't really. It gives a chalky texture. It's not the same thing. To give that leathery rough texture, you need to go in there with your line highlights. You need to just do a lot of little tiny highlights that go against the grain. So you've got the grain, this is your natural highlight of the wings. To add wrinkles and that roughness to it, you're looking at going against the grain. And you've got about 100 hours work to paint the wings. You haven't really, but it's going to feel like it. So drop the dry brush. Even on what you've done here, you can just go back in with your highlight color and just tidy up a couple of those and let the dry brush bit at least sort of fade it out a touch. There you go. That's what I would do. Great job, mate. We've given you some pretty harsh sounding criticism, but I really do like what you've got here. But you asked for the feedback. There you go. I'd love to see it when it's done. Like, even if you ignored everything I've just said and you just do the base, then just let me see it again with the base done. Cool. I did notice it on the feet on the last shot, actually, going up the leg. And yeah, I think your transition is too abrupt, especially on the hand holding the sword. You've got purple, gold bracelet, red. Right, too many sprues. Okay, it's now primed, but I'm a tad lost. The second image is the color scheme brother wants, which is this. But should I go straight to red, spray white on top of the model for lighting, or pre-shade with brown, Think of it too much pressing on light. Right, so he wants it painted red and purple, or darkish blue is what we've got going on at least. You've got this. So you could do what we did with that super sexy red. New meta design. Thank you very much for the follow and welcome. You've got some blues, you've got a white, you've probably got some yellow somewhere in the background. You could go through all of the pre-shade bollocks that I do and then snap out the most beautiful red. Or you could just get some fucking paint on the model and paint it red. For yourself, mate, I wouldn't go too technical with it. I would just maybe get a brown, or you got some burnt umber there? Yeah, you got some burnt umber. Turn the miniature upside down. load of burnt umber up his bum, all around the bottom areas of the miniature. Turn the miniature upside, paint a mixture of Evil Sun Scarlet and burnt umber, and do all of that from the top. Make sure there's no areas in between, so like a really loose zenithal, maybe even down as far as like 60 degrees. Get a load of that down, go to just Evil Sun Scarlet, and just get your highlights, and then mix a tiny bit of yellow in with that, and just hit a couple of really, really up there areas. So anything on like the very, very end of his legs towards his knees, a lot of the stuff on the upper body to make it brighter there, I just do that. So burnt umber pre-shade from underneath, mix that and red for an all over coat of red, then just red for your highlights, and then that and a little bit of yellow to just pop out a few bits. Once you've done that, you paint all the blue bits on yourself. And if you feel like it, once those blues have been base coated, get the airbrush out and just sneak in a couple of those highlights. You know how I like to roll with that. You know, we do a lot of airbrush work on minis that have already had their base coats down. Don't be afraid of it. You can paint over it. You know that. You've stripped this mini. So, burnt umber through red, up to a tiny bit of yellow, hit their final highlights, red is done. Then you need to get in there, line shade everything. Absolutely everything. And you're good. Strata. Yours was good. I thought yours was pretty solid, mate. Like what you've been working on. There you go, you were here. Yeah, very impressed. Love your Demon Prince Stadium Mortarian in the background. Big fan. Keep it up. Like the orange jumpsuits. That was the other comment. Right, this is Ketz. Added some orange to the red. Not too sure about the shield. It's got a shield. Be the other photo. Looks definitely Blood Angels there. Blood Angels are always that slightly orange, or at least classically slightly more orange. So there's that. Shield we're looking for. Okay. Comment was not too sure about the shield. I mean, okay, so the first issue is what we talked about a lot already, so I won't belabor it, but it's a lack of contrast. Everything's very flat, everything's very block color and nothing else, right? Toonie Sprues, it really is. Have you booked your lesson yet as well? I think there was one person I was waiting for, and it might have been you on the list. So the link that I sent you, please book on that, and then when we get around to doing the airbrush next steps and special effects course with yourself, we'll focus on a marine, which is what we're going to start with for everyone. It's a very easy miniature to paint. There's a reason why GW sells so many of them to kids, let's be honest. But it'll give you the techniques, and anything that I feel is appropriate to move over to your Tau, I can let you know there and then, right, this bit's really good for everything. The whole point of the course, though, is to take the techniques that I use and take them to any miniature. The airbrush technique will be the same. The next steps will be functionally the same. The special effects bit, that will vary per model. But that's the course, that's the curriculum that we've got. So, awesome, mate. So with the shield, it's very much one note. So you need to get into all those recesses, all those like lines that you get inside the shield. Drop some dark wash in and around there. Maybe tidy up the scroll work at the bottom, just that little bottom bit you've gone over the lines. Tegus123, thanks for the follow. For your browns, the bone, get some brown washes, maybe a chestnut, maybe some sort of brown is the best thing. Sepia would work as well. For the laurels, I'd probably paint them green. You've gone for what could be stone, so if that's the case, a darkish black to grey. You could do brown again, but it's going to kind of merge into the bone if you do, so be careful of that. This is all about hitting the contrast and getting your shadows in so you can come back in with some highlights. It's always like a three-step system at best. You've got to get your mid-tones down, you've then got to darken it in places and lighten up in places. That gives you that massive set of contrast. The difference between what you've got here and what I've got here, if we look at a skull, yeah. So my skull has darker areas. It has mid-tone areas. It had highlight areas. We've got areas of shadow where we've got things like the cracks, the teeth. This little bit of battle damage that we've painted on here. And that's the only real difference. Mine still started out as what was basically bone. You're at that step now. You've just got the next steps to do for it to get it to a stage like this. So you get your shadows in there with a wash, if you feel like it, and glaze them in manually if you want. Probably just put a wash down for now. Then start building your highlights. So take some bone and some lighter bone and mix those together and keep going on until you get the feeling that you've got the right highlights in the right place. It's going to take some time, it's going to take some learning, but you'll get there. They need more orange on the main tone of the body. I don't think you do at all, mate. Oh, that looks lovely, mate. We'll get to that in a sec. For this, I think, again, the same is true. You need to darken down some of your recesses now. You've got that up nice and bright in all those places. Now just take it down a notch on those recesses. On the boots, make sure you've got some little shades around where the main sort of part of his toe is and the bottom of his foot. There's a little line there. Hit that. Hit this one over the top. Get into some of those leg plates and just do a little line recess shade around the edge. Kets, you're a video viewer, Patreon. So if you go and watch that video, look at the way that I did the recess shading on the Chaplain. I think I left the majority of the power armor out. We focus more on the flatter areas for this, but the same logic applies. That same airbrush next steps. This is the next steps part of it. Go in there, hit those recesses, get those shades in. It'll snap everything into focus a bit more. You'll be fine. Orange is good. Get some dark areas in there with some shadow. Right, Plastic Love has painted an Imperial Fist. This is the Torgaridon, I think. What was the comment? The camera is bad. Edge highlight barely shows, if at all. Okay, cool. So we know there's an edge highlight down there. I can see it in a few places. Okay, that looks good. Right, so I like this overall. Some of your white paint looks a little thick. That could be the camera. You said the photo's not great, so we'll gloss over that a touch. Overall, mate, I like this a lot. I love the yellow, full of vibrancy. You've got a little recess shades in there. That's really good. You've obviously got the highlights there. You could probably get another recess shade on that shoulder pad. So the shoulder pad that we're looking at right now. Nice one, dude. What I suggest is to run around the inside ring of the shoulder pad with maybe the same wash that you've used for all of the other recesses, because your shoulder pad trim, the red that you've got, sort of goes up to the edge of the rim, but then the bit that would join the red to the yellow for the main shoulder pad, that bit's yellow, and to me that should always be red. That should always be the darker colour, the trim colour, whatever else you've got. Now you could go in and painstakingly go around the edges with red, which would obviously be the correct thing to do, but it is a bit of a, like, especially on yellow or white as well, you know what I mean? You know, you've got a proper puckered up bumhole for those brush strokes. So what I like to do is just take whatever I'm using to shade the rest of my armor and just drop it in around that edge, because that's going to darken it up enough that you won't notice the fact that it's a different color, unless of course it's like white on black, in which case you're kind of fucked. You've got to paint that black line. But I see this a lot, so you know it's one of those things that until you really sort of hone in on, you just don't notice. But for me, it's one. So that's one little area of improvement. Let's have a look at the face, because that's always tough one. Good work on the eyes. Yeah, not bad, dude. I can't fault that at all. The face, the highlights, and the shades you've got on there. Yeah, it's a little bit A little bit sort of one note throughout, but again, probably the camera. You know, looking at the highlights you've got in other areas of the army, the chest eagle and stuff, you've clearly got some brush control. But if you look at that fist on the tilt shield, again, you've painted this part of it, but you haven't painted this part of it. So I just go in and just like block those out. Maybe give that a wash around the edge again, just to really sort of hide any areas that you've missed a little bit, because they're difficult brush strokes. That was your first face. Fair dues, mate. You've done well with it. You've got the shadow around the hairline. You know, you've got some shadows you can just see at least above the eyes there. A few around the mouth and so on. So, yeah, good work, dude. Good work. Get some more accuracy with just like the edges of things. It's not just about that front facing. Of course, we've got a 3D canvas to be painting on. But overall, it's solid, dude. However, you need to get that base done. And then a black base rim. Black rim jobs. That's it. That's good. This is very good, mate. You should be happy with it. A couple of small bits to work on, but otherwise, pretty solid. Right, this was what we did last stream. This is what we did this stream. We painted a load of red. Painted a little bit of gold. Chaplain is coming on. Now, however, we're going to go find out what the forfeit was. That's the stream chapter. I need to do some research on that to find out what some of these are. But let's have a look to whatever we have as the top of this, unless it's welts, which we've both vetoed, is the forfeit. Are you guys ready? So when Chris and I do the Frohawk dual stream, or stream duel, it's kind of a fight. We're both going to paint a Plasma Inceptor in the same chapter colours. The Twitch chats are going to swap out some of our paints while we're painting it, and that's not going to fuck up things at all. And whoever doesn't win the vote, as voted by our shared communities for who did it best, has to do a 24-hour stream and every 2 hours do a shout out to the winner if they lose. I'm not surprised that one came in at the top. I voted for this. I thought this was a good one. I voted for this because I thought it was just a nice thing to do. I voted for this one, and I voted for this one. Only one other person voted for the chili sauce. Damn. So, Chris, when are you going to do your 24-hour stream after you inevitably lose? And then don't forget, guys, as well, let's get this shared up. I'm going to pop it in my Discord. Chris is going to put it in his. I'm going to make a post on social media telling people to go to my Discord and click the pinned link and stuff, because fuck someone on Instagram trying to type that in. You know. Can't see what you voted for. I just told everyone. I double clicked on oh wait, do you not get... Yeah, you do. You get the grey. Yeah. I voted for that. That. And that. Those four. Got to the stream while wearing the t-shirt. That was two different things, man. That was way down here. You know. So that's the one. The forfeit is your 24-hour stream. Every 2 hours you do a shout out to the person that won, telling them how great they are. It's gonna be hilarious. I don't even care if I do it. You know. Tejas123, I had a very difficult time highlighting edges on black armor. Well, oh, you were looking at the Chaplain. Apologies. Here's some black armor, and here's a load of edge highlights and so on, as well as some nice gradient highlights. Now, I did a video that went through every single part of the painting process for the black, which is now on my Patreon, exclamation point Patreon. The PDF version of that will go up this Friday, but the video version is there for video viewer and above members. So if you would like to learn how to paint black like this, even without an airbrush, you could do the same for all of the next step bits, so all the recess shading, all the highlights and everything. That would show you quite a lot of what to do. So maybe check that out if you are feeling like you would like to support myself and learn how to paint black. The next Patreon video is not this week, it'll be the week after. This week is a YouTube video that will go up on Friday. I'm going to take this base and turn it into something that is much more exciting. I'm going to go start to finish on it from this step all the way through to a finished painted base. The next Patreon video is going to be how to freehand, and we're going to be doing the Raven Wing chapter symbol on there. If you would like to vote on upcoming Patreon tutorials, either things that you'd like to see, or vote on giveaways and things like that, then you can become a Patreon by following the link that Too Many Sprues summoned into the chat just there. If you're a patron, you get access to exclusive areas on Discord. You can tell I haven't rehearsed this at all. I don't really know what I'm going to say next. Where you can do voting and you'll get better and more involved feedback on your work in progress to help you become a better painter. You'll also get occasional access to extra giveaways as well. But for now, let's go to Twitch and see who else is still painting. Get some raid going on. So Brush for Hire is still on. We could go there. Studio, I haven't seen Studio J7 in ages. He's about to finish a stream. Reiner, we raid quite a lot. God, it's Brush for Hire's second stream ever. Alright, let's not go to me, that's me. Let's go to him. So, when we get there, everyone do me a favour. Spam his chat full of shit. Alright? This is his second stream. Break him. Alright? Everyone give him a follow though. Alright? I already have. I followed him on Saturday. In fact, before then. So everyone give him a follow. Spam his chat full of crap. Let's try and get him to affiliate. Let's go. Thank you to everyone. I'll be back on the Hellstorm stream tomorrow night from 6 PM. Then we'll be doing our own stream on Tuesday night. We're going to take Marnius Calgar Metal Edition and paint Ultramarines. Oh yeah. It's going to be great. We'll see you there. Peace out, everyone. Wait. Well, that didn't work. Is everyone still here? Can you guys see me? Or did you...
I'm just ending my stream, my dude. That is hilarious. Right.